Archimex login confirmed.
Welcome to the Lodge. You've accessed
The Lodgecast Experience.
Warning, warning, dangerous spoilers ahead. Enjoy.
The Lodgecast is a little podcast where we watch weird movies, so you don't have to.
The Lodgecast, baby.
Lodgecast, gonna smoke grass. Lodgecast, listen movie pass. Lodgecast.
We're gonna watch some crap.
Lodgecast.
And then the Lodge Master chats.
With Lucas and Bishki.
Episode 140, Halloween Ends.
Hello and welcome to a Halloween spooktacular edition of the Lodgecast. With me as always is Brother Bishki.
Evil dies tonight.
We got Brother Lucas in the back.
Dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies
We got
tonight.
Lodge Mistress Millie.
Evil dies
tonight.
And we got Brother Nathan.
Evil dies
tonight.
Evil dies tonight. The movie is Halloween Ends. Fucking finally. Let's put this old dog out of its misery.
The end of the whole Halloween franchise tonight.
Yeah,
We
that
got-
we'll never see in our lifetimes another
Yeah,
Halloween.
right.
This is it.
Never.
This is the last one with Jamie Lee, maybe.
We got our Halloween crew back. This thing is making too much money. They're going to figure out a way.
Hell yeah.
They're going to figure out a
Hell,
way.
we might get another one next October.
That's why there's 3 of these suckers, you know?
Yeah.
Because they make $60 million in 2 days.
They're just going to keep making them. Like Jamie Lee Curtis will be Michael Myers in the next one.
Yeah.
Like
It's not bad.
They need to do a VR metaverse version where we're like getting chased by Michael Myers.
yeah, why not?
In
Why
Web,
is that not
Web
happening
3.
What
what are we doing here?
what are we doing? This movie premiered concurrently on what? Peacock?
Peacock.
Peacock.
Oh.
I think you gotta pay a
streaming.
little for
And
it.
they're saying Monday morning, quarterbacking that because it was day and date with Peacock, the theatrical fell short. Like
Sure.
5 or 10
Oh, well,
million
no
opening
shit,
or
right?
whatever.
No fucking shit.
The numbers are telling that
Cinema
every time.
score not as high.
But
Yeah.
dear listener, we are out here on discount night.
Discount night.
We are doing it. We are going to be in the theater, putting our eyeballs in front of this just for you. What are our expectations at this point? Mine, I'll start. Mine are bargain basement below the center kitchen island secret hiding place. Even below that bunker, it's nothing. So I'm going in. If this movie does anything right, I will be doing jumping jacks and cartwheels in the theater.
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot of shaky, herky-jerky camera, like 1 second cuts, like nothing's going to breathe or settle. It's just going to be a Blender macabre horror show on Puree.
I did listen to our Halloween Kills episode
Did you,
The kill
did you get any
particular.
info
a
from
few
that?
hours ago. Well, I didn't remember much from that. It was just garbage. But we were all really down on it. Even Lodge Mistress gave it a bone. Like,
One bone?
Lobbing bones over the net.
And but I do know Judy Greer. The daughter she's dead.
Done dirty.
Oh, she's dead.
Yeah,
dead.
that was
Done
like
also-
a light moment that I realized. That,
Also,
Judy Greer died in the
was it
last
Tommy
one.
Doyle, played by Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah.
Dead.
Dead.
He's
Okay.
not. They're both not in this
He
one.
died that night.
So I don't know if that's
Evil.
good or bad, but I just wanted to get that out there.
The only thing I can give it going into it is like it just resets for me every time.
Right.
It's just like, all right, like what could this be? This new thing, and I'll give it that. You know, I'll give it 25 minutes, and then I know it's going to be what it is. Right?
Like,
Yeah.
what's left?
Well, we've been mysteriously getting pumped up for this by watching some Halloween movies.
Yeah.
That's true.
We just watched Halloween 4, 5, and 6.
Which I had never seen before. It was a dark cinefessional for me.
It's a nice trilogy. It's a nice run.
It's pretty
The back-
funny.
the back half.
They go down pretty smooth, and you got Paul Rudd in part 6, which
As
is
Tommy Doyle.
which is
As
funny.
Tommy Doyle.
As
yeah.
Tommy
So
Doyle,
funny.
the Anthony
It's
Michael
great.
Hall role. Yeah,
It's great.
Yeah.
And these movies we're watching, these David Gordon Green pieces, are just jettison all of that. Like none of that happened.
No, none of it matters.
All of these come after Halloween 2, right?
No. These come after the original Halloween.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they reset Halloween
They
night, the end
completely
of the John
reseeded.
Carpenter.
40 years later.
I heard a rumor they're going to go into influences from part 3, and I'm talking about
Sure.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Why not?
Which was the Silver Shamrock commercial, and I mean those trick or treat. I don't know. Is it going to go there? Is it going to go silly in that way? I have no idea. And how do you jam that into the?
They're going to bring the pandemic into this. Like that was thrown out in the last podcast. I don't know.
I don't know where I got that
I don't know where
intel.
you got that.
Michael
intel,
gets
but-
bad case of COVID.
After Evil Dies Tonight,
Starts coughing.
the only Halloween movie that I have not yet seen is Halloween Resurrection, and I'm saving that.
For next year?
I don't know when I will watch it. It might be this year on Halloween, but that's the one with Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes.
And
yeah.
I'm saving it just like a fine vintage wine. I've been looking forward to that one forever. So
I mean, Jamie Lee wears a doctor outfit, like a doctor patient outfit, and she takes a swan dive off. That was like her death. That was, like people came back. We were talking about H2O.
she keeps coming back.
H2. We were talking about H2O. That HG, Halloween water is the one that we all saw when we were really watching movies, and that was Jamie Lee coming back.
I remember liking
our
that
old
one.
Jamie Lee. That's
Right.
our generation's old Jamie Lee coming back badass.
She was
So now we got another one.
36 years old.
And we thought she was so old.
Yeah.
She was like a grandmother in
Well, her
that.
haircut wasn't doing her any favors.
Oh my god.
Now, Halloween Ends, which is the movie that we're watching tonight.
It's called Ends.
Ends.
Just ends.
Return to Kitchen Island.
Trims. Trims. Yeah.
Lodge Mistress has a little connection to this film.
Ooh,
I have a tale to tell.
Oh.
So I was
Gather
on.
around the campfire.
We huddled. LT and I huddled closer. We're really close back here.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
went on Actors Access, as any good actor does when they're desperate for an audition and need to find some roles. I came upon a casting and I looked, and it was directed by David Gordon Green.
D.D. Green.
And they don't usually give you that info, do they?
No, they always give you the director.
So that's normal.
Yeah, that's normal. But so it was for this role, Mrs. Mead. And so I was like,
Intriguing.
oh hell yeah. It was in my age range and everything. I popped it in there. And lo and behold, I got an audition. And I did in fact audition for Mrs. Mead, who is still in this film.
Oh, we gotta look out for her.
But I knew it was probably Halloween Ends, but I didn't know because it had like a code name.
Yeah.
Oh, like
the
Blue
pumpkin
Harvest.
killings.
Yeah, no. The code name was Cave Dweller.
Cave dweller.
Under the
So,
Kitchen Island.
anywho, I'm super
Yeah.
excited to see the performance. This is what I'm looking forward to, seeing
Yes.
the performance of Mrs. Mead.
Yes.
We're all gonna be looking.
And
for
so
her.
I know a little bit about the plot because I got some sides. I got some good sides.
Right.
And then I'll probably go to sleep after she dies. But
Yeah. Well, who knows, you guys? Maybe you'll be on the edge of your seat. Maybe Mrs. Mead getting killed will be just
I don't know if she dies or not for real, but I'm sure she does.
catapulting the story forward in
Yeah.
a pleasing way.
Yeah, I do want to apologize. I know I should have my Mike Myers mask right now. I looked.
Oh,
Thank God you don't, man.
I spent over.
So glad you
It
don't.
sent a chill over the last time.
I spent over an hour last night looking for it. I don't know where it went. Michael has been snooping around. Took his mask.
Creeping
back.
out on his own.
He's going to be on the big screen. I don't know where that mask
That's
is.
too bad.
They should
I
mention
remember
that it
when
is
you wore
discount night, right?
last time into the
Yeah.
theater, the lights were on, like the house
Yeah.
lights.
But he
so
had-
everyone could see you
People
were
were-
in the house.
He
People
had
were
his
yelling
mask
at
on
it.
over
It was
it, though.
brighter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't you?
I had my COVID mask over the mask. Yes.
That is
Yeah.
such a sign of the times.
I think we're going to see families in there, and we're going to see a lot of black T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I wore my black
A
shirt.
black T-shirt convention. Maybe
Yeah,
blankets.
it's Dolby, so it's going to be
It is
loud.
the Dolby.
Yeah,
Hell
It
yeah.
screams extra shrill.
Yeah.
It'll at
Those
least
body hits. Those
goose us.
When they're begging for their life before Michael Myers just moves on them with
I know.
a shank.
You think this is going to be better than Smile?
Yeah. I heard Smile was bad, so yeah. I think so. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's got to be better than Smile because I'll take Jamie Lee Curtis in anything.
There you go.
We got
Hell
to see.
yeah.
We got to see what she.
At
What
least
she's
gets
doing
out of the
here.
hospital here.
Well, yeah.
She was on her back.
That's
in a
right. I'm
hospital.
having a
The whole
flashback.
kills.
Lodgemaster predicted. He was like, they got to get Jamie Lee out of the hospital, but she
Yeah.
didn't get out of the hospital till like the very end,
that
setting up this
sucked.
movie, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's out of the hospital.
Let it burn.
Jamie Lee's gonna bring us our love and light. She's gonna be our beacon through this thing. And if there's a MacGuffin's Halloween drink, I think we got to slurp it down, especially if it's orange.
Halloween sludge.
Pumpkin spice, Captain Morgan's.
Blood orange, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a Starbucks. I need to stay awake. Let's do it.
I do too.
We're ready.
The Lodgecast stays awake tonight. Let's go do it. Love and light, y'all.
Love and light.
Anything can happen on Halloween. Your dog could turn into a cat. There may be a toad in your bass guitar, or your sister could turn into a bat. Christmas time brings the snow. Summertime brings the sun. But on Halloween, your blood begins to run. Something spooky is going down. Anything can happen on Halloween. It's better than a video. Gremlin's gonna mess up every cassette from London to Idaho. April 1st can be fun. New Year's Eve is a bore. But on Halloween, your flesh begins to crawl. Oh, I'm losing control. Anything can happen on Halloween. Your toenails go wrong and your hair turns green. Your teacher could become a sardine. Your dentist could turn into a queen. Has anybody seen my tambourine? I may start playing big in the beginning. The craziest night you've ever seen. This hairy, scary, creepy,
Ooh, you know it's going to be a good episode when Bishki and I are buckling our seatbelts when we're not moving in this car. Oh my God, buckle up, y'all.
Evil's dead, y'all.
Evil died
Evil
tonight.
died.
Yeah.
Evil died on discount night.
Got ground up and spit out the other end, man.
As foretold, there were families in this theater.
Yeah.
I think I heard a baby.
I think
Yeah.
There's always a baby.
I saw father and son, and as they were exiting the theater, I saw another family like quietly judging them. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe the dad brought his kid, and then someone said, "Come on, the kid was on his phone and they took a nap. He wasn't scared."
I don't know if that's
So many things
better or
wrong with
worse.
that.
It's
But
just the sign of the times.
For what it's worth, the baby seemed pacified. The baby wasn't crying. It was just kind of like, which is kind of how I was through this whole movie. But before we get to it,
Fishy! What's that shot?
Rotten Tomatoes. This is Laurie Strode's last stand. After
step right up. Laurie Strode's last stand. We promise.
After 45 years, the most acclaimed,
45.
revered horror franchise in film history
Is it?
reaches its epic, terrifying conclusion as Laurie Strode faces off for the last time against the embodiment of evil, Michael Myers, in a final confrontation unlike any captured on screen before. Only one of them will survive, period.
In this
Get
corner.
ready for Dumbo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how do we, I mean, the first sequence is a salad dressing.
The Salad Dragon. A scene in a movie that is so bizarre, baffling, or transcendent that it instantly justifies the price of admission. Or Reese Witherspoon's leafy transformation in A Wrinkle in Time.
And the first line goes to Mrs. Mead, a role that was
Oh, if Millie.
It should have been.
Well, and
Millie.
it was Mrs. Allen. Her name was actually Mrs. Allen in the thing.
So they switched it.
And I will say this: they didn't give you any information, so I completely did not do it right. I didn't know her son died. Like that line she has where she's like, Jeremy, how could you? I thought she was saying that to Jeremy, like Jeremy had killed someone.
Okay.
So
you just didn't have all the pieces.
I had no pieces.
They need to give you more pieces.
They purposely changed stuff. They left a bunch of stuff out. So I definitely am like, yeah, I missed all that was a complete surprise to me.
So
But-
we'll just act like you were in this. So
Oh yeah, I did a good job.
Millie's
I'm
heading out.
recasting, yeah.
Millie's heading out to a Halloween party dressed like a flapper.
Yeah.
And
Gatsby.
as a Gatsby reveler, and there's a 21-year-old male babysitter that she has watching her young boy.
Because her other babysitter got sick.
Right.
That was in the sides.
And this dude,
Oh, man.
the second I saw him, I couldn't.
Suspect number one.
Well, no, I thought he was victim number one. I thought for sure Michael Myers
Well, we
was
all-
showing
yeah,
up
it's the
here, and I was
opener.
like, this guy is so bland. He's
How
gonna
did
get
he
his throat
get this?
slit.
Yeah, how did he get this role?
And no, man, it didn't. Did not dawn on me until a few scenes later. I was like, oh shit.
Well, victim or suspect, this dude reminded me of alt-right douche nozzle Charlie Kirk. And I couldn't shake it.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm
See
just
it?
like Charlie Kirk making his way through Haddonfield. But anyway, this kid that he's babysitting's a fucking asshole. And they play some hide and go seek.
I like that the kid was like, are you scared of Michael Myers? And the kid was like, no, Michael Myers didn't. He didn't kill kids. He kills babysitters.
Yeah,
babysitters.
that was a good
It was
line.
a great line.
I was feeling it. I was feeling it at this point. Sooner or later, Charlie Kirk gets locked up in the attic, and the kid's like holding him in there. And he's trying to get out. He's scared. And the parents are coming home. Millie's coming home. And right when they open the door, Charlie Kirk kicks the door open, and the kid flies over the banister of this huge drop
Like
of a
4-story,
stairway.
like, yeah.
And
Yeah, the
the
center
whole
of it.
theater just screamed when that kid fucking hit the ground. It was perfectly shot for maximum shock value.
Yeah, he falls, and then
I
it's a
gasped.
bounce back up of gore.
Oh, it was
You know,
crazy.
oh,
And
crazy.
pizza.
And then it was, boom, Halloween ends.
And then boom, yeah. But the problem I have with that, and with all of these fucking new trilogy movies, yeah, that's where you cut to the title, but it has nothing to do with Michael Myers, at least that we know of.
At least this one hit harder than the last two.
It did.
Oh, it
did.
did.
But
for sure.
But shouldn't it have been something to do with Michael Myers? Like,
yeah, that's
when-
what threw me.
Especially-
It totally
Ugh.
threw me because I swear I thought, okay, Michael Myers is going to kill this babysitter.
Yeah.
or the parent. When the parents started showing up, I was like, they're all going to get murdered right now. And then it was like, no, it's just the stinger of the title that's the cold open. I was like, wait a second, we're not in Haddonfield
Mikey's
anymore.
protege. You don't know
I
it.
mean, you don't know anything yet. You get it by the end, but there's that cognitive dissonance of I can't really say fuck yeah because it's not connected
Yes.
to anything.
Right.
Yeah,
You have
and
no
it's-
idea
Jamie
how it
Lee's
matters,
not
yeah.
in there. Yeah.
No,
Right.
it's his final film.
His last
So
stand.
you're like,
I-
well, where is he?
I was looking at it from a meta way where I was like, wow, so Michael Myers is still killing people even if he's not killing them
Right.
because it was
Right.
all the impetus.
They
of
were
like,
talking about it.
Yeah,
Well, I think
so
it gets-
I was yeah.
I agree. I think it's really muddled when you bring in this Corey, kid. He's
Yeah.
this protege,
it's fucked up.
like Dave alluded to. That just doesn't work. I mean, that takes away from Michael. You don't need it. I mean, set up Michael in that opener.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We got a lot to talk about tonight.
So Lori's writing a book.
Lori is writing a book which gives us
Plenty of juicy narration.
What is this narration? What is this VO? What is Jamie Lee Curtis doing in this movie?
It was throwing me because
Oh,
I was like, wow, in the last movie, wasn't she in the hospital just delirious
Yes.
with rage
Oh,
and
yes.
vengeance? And in this movie, she's like, I live in Haddonfield and I have a home of love and trust and cookies.
yeah.
and
Now she's
gingerbread
on
houses
different
and-
drugs. It seems like
and-
she's lost in a haze of different,
She's like got like
strong drugs.
RIs or whatever.
Yeah, she got some strong antidepressants
Yes.
and
She's three different
tranquilizers.
people in the different films.
She is,
Oh,
which is
for sure.
really weird.
yeah.
So weird.
I don't know if you guys noticed this, but one of the first shots after the title, where Charlie Kirk is making his way through town on his bicycle, there is graffiti on a wall that says, "Not evil dies tonight, but love lives today."
Whoa.
They
Missed
flipped it on us.
Missed it.
I clocked it.
I misdirect. I didn't see it either.
They flipped it on us.
COVID suddenly transformed the whole world into a love lives today utopia.
Yeah, Jamie Lee's writing a book. She's really laying some shit out. We get a flashback through all the movies, kind of impressionistic. Like, why? Like, why?
Punches.
This is going to end tonight.
Is that
They wanted to remind us.
Oh man!
But they do it a lot.
At least
And-
cuts to H2O and Resurrection a little bit, even though
They don't go there.
So the main dude, he has a very interesting home life, very overbearing, incestuous mother, and the whole town is turned against him because they think he's, a child murderer. And so he's like an outcast.
And he
Except-
likes chocolate milk.
He loves chocolate milk.
except one person in town finds a pretty strong liking to him.
What is okay? We got to
It's the
unpack
Bad Boys,
this.
yeah.
This movie carries on the terrible new tradition of, first of all, there's some bullies that bully him. And
At
these
least-
bullies,
Oh, these teen
bullies
bullies.
are dorks. This is
They're
just like
band bullies.
They're in a marching
this
band.
is just like Black Phone, where I was complaining that the bullies aren't intimidating anymore.
It felt like a tired trope in this because
They're making
they were
dorky
so
bullies.
Disney Channel 1996.
But
Yeah,
they're not.
They were
but
so diverse
but
and just
in
completely.
Disney Channel 1996, these would be nerds.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
why? Anyway,
And Corey was bigger than them. I mean, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Corey was bigger
They
than
were-
I
that.
don't
they
know
were
why
like-
he wasn't just
They
like,
were like 5 years younger, and they were just like they kept showing up over and over.
just
but
clothesline him.
and he's got some nerd rage, and he crushes the bottle of Yoo-Hoo in his hand, and he ends up
chocolate milk is like a reoccurring.
getting taken to the hospital by Jamie Lee Curtis, who, in her drug haze, just happens to be watching this take place and fucks up the tire of the main bully.
Yeah, she's a trickster.
She's a trickster. They go to the hospital. I was like, please don't let us be stuck at another hospital.
Me
They
too.
go there. Oh, those
But
hollowed, yeah,
This
hallways.
fucking doofus with a cut hand, Jamie Lee's granddaughter, sees him, and it's like Dreamweaver from Wayne's World.
She asked him out. I mean, that was a laugh
She
in our group.
is aggressively pursuing this dweebus Maximus.
Five
Yeah.
dudes wrote the script.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
5 credited.
Oh,
Dude.
what
Five
an embarrassing role.
Five
for her.
credited. And throughout the movie, her motivations are just embarrassing. Like, Milster, imagine
Yeah.
playing that role and
Ugh.
having to somehow
I-
try to sell this stuff.
I was like, thank God I don't have to play that role.
It's
I thought that
cringy.
multiple
It's cringy.
times.
What is that?
Especially when the lead
Oh.
looks like this Charlie
Oh.
Kirk, scummy, like.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh,
A little Defoe in there.
A little
like,
bit,
You know,
little dash.
just
and
not a handsome
Another thing
fellow.
that's happening throughout, every time they cut to a new scene, it's like a jump scare sound.
Oh, the sound design is insane.
I thought I
maybe
heard.
it was- maybe
I
it was
thought I
just-
heard a velociraptor, and it was just a
No,
door
it's
closing.
meant to
into
wake
a-
you up.
I thought it was just the Dolby, but no,
No.
it was like the just insane.
The transitions were on point. There's a lot of match cuts to certain action.
Yeah,
They were on point.
But they're on point in splitting your eardrums open.
I felt like it was starting to get very annoying and like
It was so
self-aware.
annoying. And
Crazy.
you notice every time it jump scares, you're like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be jumping. I'm supposed to be scared of something. What am I supposed to be scared of? Michael Myers. Where is Michael Myers? I don't know. Michael Myers doesn't show up until 50 minutes.
Let's talk about where he is. You know, it's a
Okay.
total Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle like sewer hideout.
I mean,
Yeah,
hold on.
so
hold on,
wait,
time
but
out.
wait, yes.
Yeah, we're going there.
Because in Halloween 5,
Yes.
The Revenge of Michael Myers,
Yes.
the cold open, Michael Myers, it appears, crawled out of this mine shaft down
Yeah.
a creek
Yep.
and was
Yeah,
rescued
yes.
by a hermit / river person.
He was dynamited out of a.
slash like tiki bar builder.
And what's crazy is in that cold open, we don't really know this. I had to check Wikipedia to clarify, but the hermit by the river nursed Michael Myers
Yeah.
back to
Yes.
health for
yeah,
a
For a
year.
year.
for a year.
For a year.
Yeah.
So here we are. in
And then
this
Michael just wakes up and kills him very nonchalantly.
That's what confused me because it felt like it all happened in one night.
Yeah.
But In
Yeah,
this
it's
movie,
described that way.
you're back at the river,
Yep.
right? There's not a hermit. It's just a temporarily houseless person under a bridge.
Temporarily.
And it's revealed that Michael Myers is living in a nearby
What?
sewer tunnel.
Yeah, it's not a
Pennywise the
cave.
Clown.
He's
What?
not a
Yeah.
cave dweller. He's a sewer dweller.
What does that prospector gentleman say?
I didn't understand a thing that man
Who
He was,
said.
he was
knows?
muttering. That was
He
all
was like-
ad-libbed.
I mean, it shouldn't have been a sewer just because of those connotations. I
Yeah.
had the same one. It could
Yeah,
have been
me
anything.
too.
It could have been anything on the side
Could
of
have
the
been
road.
a could have been a trailer, like an empty trailer.
An
More
empty school bus.
more embarrassment with this granddaughter character. She gets pulled over by a cop,
Oh.
and
That's an X, right? That was an
Yes.
it
X
was an X. But
from Ends.
I thought she called him Dad, and this is
I thought
like
it was her father.
shades
too.
of Barbarian with Bishki's confusion.
You look like Dad. Yeah.
But his name is Doug.
Okay.
So she's like, "Hey, Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Doug." But I thought that was
He
her
looked like her
dad.
father.
But he was looking her up and down,
It was gross.
and I'm like, okay, well, we saw in Halloween 4, 5, and 6, Dr. Loomis is getting real close to people. Like anything
Yeah.
goes in these movies. But no, it's Doug, and he is about 20 hard years older than her.
Mhm.
What?
Yeah, I don't.
Why did she date him?
He's
Weird.
aggressive. He's aggressive.
Her-
throughout.
Weird in 2022.
And
She has
then
weird taste.
Jamie Lee and Will Patton are having a little meet up
that-
cute-
the
little
at the
grocery-
grocery
the
store.
grocery store
I
meet
saw-
cute.
to me, that was a second
Me-
salad.
I
I
agree.
think so.
I
Okay,
agree.
yeah, okay.
Double Dragon.
That's where
Because-
it felt most alive. Go ahead.
Because all of a sudden this movie has like an energy, like this crazy.
It feels like there's a gas leak in the grocery store, and they're both insane.
Well, they're both two good actors.
Did you see
I
how
think
Will
that makes a
Patton, when
difference.
he gets the meat from the butcher, he just like threw it into his cart, like almost violently?
The
Like just,
butcher
like,
was weird.
It was
Everybody was
one of the
weird.
weirdest scenes I've seen all year. I mean, like,
it had an energy
I
to it, didn't
really want to watch it again.
Like-
I was like, I could watch this again.
It was a
Line
live
for
wire
sure.
act.
line for line,
I
like
could live in that section of this film.
every look that Jamie Lee and Will Patton were giving each other was just bizarre. And
Yeah.
it was.
It was like watching two masters just like dance, you know?
What?
I don't know what kind of dance they're doing.
Talking about the cherry blossom.
I just kept thinking of the horror heads that are, they're coming to
yeah.
and that scene goes on
Oh,
for
God.
about 14 solid minutes.
Yeah.
And they're just like, they got their horror shirts and they kind of deflating, with Mike
And then,
Myers.
but on the flip side of that, right? We're in that very moment, and then seconds later, Jamie Lee Curtis is getting admonished out in the supermarket
Yeah.
parking lot
Oh,
by a
yeah,
previous
shifts
movie's victim, who I swear to God I thought got murdered
She-
in the last
yeah.
one, but somehow she's alive in a wheelchair. She doesn't speak.
She was the one that got like fucked up with the fluorescent light tubes or something.
right.
Hey, that must be, was that Kills?
And
Yeah, that was the last one.
And what's crazy is I think this is like the first sequel ever that's like dealing with these real world consequences from the previous movie, which I've never seen.
It's weird.
So there's like a lot of like melodrama where it's like, the Mrs. Kittner scene in Jaws where it's like you knew and you didn't do anything.
Right.
You
There's
know,
blame
you,
and guilt,
You
yeah.
teased the man with brain damage and he went crazy and killed everybody.
That's an actual line from this film. Yeah.
Well, people wore their scars. Even Michael had he had a bung hand, where it got burned. So
Well,
that
let's-
reinforces your idea there.
We're about to get to Michael's return here, but before that happens, the granddaughter invites Charlie Kirk to a Halloween party. Very aggressively. He's like, I don't have a costume. And she's like, I'll fix that. Like, she is
She's like rabidly
on
texting him.
top of this guy.
Yeah, I thought she was up to something because,
But, yeah.
no, she's
But
not.
no.
She's just crazy. Yeah.
That's what makes this character so embarrassing to watch, because her motivations are mysterious and they are always changing.
Yes.
And you have
yes.
no clue where she's coming from. Even as she's stating it, she's like, I, see shades of myself in you. I was also looked down upon, but it's still weird.
Yeah, she's like borderline personality.
They're just
like,
written together. They're just written together, and we got to deal with it.
So they go to this Halloween party, which reminded me, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers keeps coming up. It reminds me of the weird ass Halloween party they had in that movie.
Yeah, it
where
felt like those little,
the
paper
costumes were weird. Like, the costumes aren't costumes that you would see at an actual Halloween party. In Halloween 5, there's like a lobster man.
Lobster man.
And like a fuzzy, just a general fuzzy guy.
I think he was a cat, but he was totally
No,
crazy.
he was fucked up, and I think he was in my nightmares. the
Yeah,
other
the
night.
cat.
In this one, they had like the half-ass mask, the thin
Half-ass.
plastic
Yeah.
gas station masks.
And the quote unquote costume she gives to old Charlie Kirk is a like shitty plastic scarecrow mask.
Yeah.
And a sweater,
And
brown
he
sweater.
slam dances his ass off at this party, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought he was on drugs for sure.
But then Millie's there.
I thought for sure he was going to see Michael Myers on the dance floor because it was getting all
Yes.
crazy,
Oh, that'd be
and then
good.
he would like see, but no.
No.
Yeah, when you see the mother there, that really turns over the amateurish writing of,
Yeah.
of the whole
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just to
Why
have
was
that
she
moment
there?
Why was she
forced
there?
right in the middle of that
She had no
sequence.
costume on.
No. And so she's like, "You killed my son. You killed my son." So he runs into these dorky ass bullies again.
One guy was wearing a leather jacket, right? Like a leather jacket.
They're
It was
all-
a band
like a
jacket.
switchblade.
It was
all
a
in the
band- it was-
marching band.
Yeah.
The
That's
marching
what we're
band,
dealing
yes,
with.
yeah.
Yeah, nerds.
He ends up
Nerds.
getting fucking beat up again,
Tossed off a bridge.
shoved down into the ravine where Michael dwells, and Michael drags
I kind of thought it was creepy when his body went into the tube.
into the sewer
Very
tube.
Pennywise.
Pennywise
the clown.
comes out
And I was like,
and collects
I,
him like
still,
a
I thought it was
deer.
creepy.
So then you really start to understand that this is going to be a transference of some sort. Michael looks into his eyes, and we get another supercut of all the Halloween movies. I wrote down soul transfer. Like
That's
what?
That's what I thought.
What
Was
is
it like?
Do we even know the rules of the movie? I mean,
No.
I didn't
even with 4,
understand
5,
it.
and 6, it had that too.
No.
where
I
did
a
not
touch of
understand
skin.
This
Yeah.
feels less like Halloween Ends than Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, where Jason wasn't even a part of it. There's a new Jason killing, and you got to guess who it is. And I was like, what are you doing? Because Michael is like decrepit in this. He's like stumbly wumbly back in his sewer.
He's lost his power a little.
He lost his mojo.
Yeah.
And now we gotta follow this fucking dude. Like, oh man, like,
Yeah.
why did they think this was a good idea?
No, it's this franchise is way off the rails.
There was a point where they're setting up all this stuff. They must have got cards from Halloween Kills. Like, they didn't set up this, and this properly because the whole first 40 to an hour is set up.
It's
And
all
then it
set
just
up.
hangs there. There's a point where it just hangs there, and everybody's just hanging around.
But then
Just sees
after
them at the grocery.
after this soul transfer, Charlie Kirk gets a leather jacket like Incel Fonzie, and he's like fucking riding his motorcycle around.
Well, but no, when he came out of the tube, the whatever it is,
Yeah.
the sewer, he did run into that prospector, houseless person.
Right, he did.
And the houseless person dropped some exposition, but I don't know what
I don't know what he said. He said,
He was saying that the guy Michael Myers lives in the tube
And then
he's
he
been
kn-
killing people, but he didn't kill you.
Oh yeah, he's like, why did you come out?
Because
Right.
I'm Michael Myers and I have to kill you. But yeah, it was so confusing at that
Yeah.
point. I had
Bishki,
no
did you
idea
understand?
what was
No, and then
happening.
the incel just murders the guy.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
he murders
And then he,
him.
he
That's
tells
Corey's
and then
second
he-
kill right
And then he
there,
tells his girlfriend, and she's like, "Cool,
yeah,
Let's go
yeah,
get 'em
yeah.
all."
He said, he's like, I just killed somebody, and then that just turns her on even more.
She
Yeah.
takes his hand, or
She
something.
loves.
cups his bloody
There's a lot
hand.
of like her
I don't
hands
think she-
being offered to him.
Yeah, but she didn't know he killed the homeless guy. I think she thought he was talking about that kid.
Right.
No, yeah, but
Still,
like
bad, right?
Still, like killing a
Confusing.
kid is even better. I don't know.
She is
I know, I
turned
understand what
on
you're
by everything that he has
saying.
to offer.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And once he gets that leather jacket, she's in even deeper.
Well, and his glasses got crushed,
feel-
and he can apparently see
He can
without
see.
them.
Yeah, I feel I was confused. Like after he got out of the sewer tunnel with the soul transference, he like ran
That's what it is, I think.
to
Yeah, I
Jamie
think
Lee
it is.
Curtis's house,
Yeah.
right? And I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna tell them Michael Myers is back, and this is where it all
Yes.
starts to get good and crazy. But no,
No.
he's telling her nothing, and then I'm confused. I'm
because
like,
he's
wait,
teamed up.
well, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, is he gonna tell her? Because I feel like if he's not gonna tell her, it should be like she's showing up to his house and he's avoiding her because he doesn't want to have to lie to her or something.
No.
But I don't know. I was completely lost in that.
He did like the shrub hug, like the shrub.
He
look
did do the
around.
hashtag shrub hug.
I agree with the transference, but Michael's still hanging around. Like I don't
Yeah.
understand. It's like a
he's like a
Horcrux.
spider that needs prey. So the kid is like, I'll bring you,
Yeah.
like food or something.
Yeah.
to
So
like regenerate him.
Yeah, because
he
the-
does
Yeah.
kill him. He does. We have a scene where Michael is like stabbing.
he brings
Loving it.
the ex-lover
Doug. Dad.
aka Dad. He
Doug.
brings him into the web, and when Michael kills him, he seems to get stronger.
Yes, because he like stabs him and gets his stab.
He gets
back.
like the blood quickening.
But
you
it's
know?
like, what?
Highlander quickening.
So is that also giving Charlie Kirk energy? Like, do they both get energy?
We don't know
from
the
this?
rules.
Yeah,
we don't
it
know the
seemed like
rules.
it.
Charlie
'cause
Kirk's learning from him. Like,
Yeah.
What is he
show
learning,
me how to
though?
kill.
Just learning how to
Show me
stab.
how to
not to get
stab.
burned.
How to stab guys.
Show me evil.
So,
So that's when he comes out of his cave after he kills
Right.
the cop. That's the first
And
time we see him out of the cave.
we see
Michael.
Like a
Bishki.
vampire with the first
Bishki
beast.
starts looking around, and I know he needs to go to the bathroom.
They're
and
shifting.
I tried to veto it, but I couldn't. And he moved out of the theater. And that's when they start setting up the next kills, which is Jamie Lee's granddaughter's boss and one of his nurses that he works with, who he gave a promotion over the granddaughter.
Yeah, I walked in on that kill.
You got back just in time.
Yeah.
And
okay.
these kills, like, I know he's like, Michael's teaching Charlie how to kill, but do you
via
really
transference.
do you really have to repeat one of the kills from Halloween 1 where he stabs the girl like into the wall?
Yeah.
Like, I know I get it as a callback, but this movie has so precious few kills.
I also feel we need to retire the like cocking the head to the side
Yeah.
trope.
Yeah.
Like I think I've seen that a million
But
times.
I guess he was
Fans don't even
teaching
like
him
that.
how to do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Teaching him how to look.
And he's
But-
got his scarecrow mask on, and they're like kind of like double teaming.
Was anyone else surprised by the robe that the doctor picked for the girl?
Yeah, no, I was like, it should be lingerie or something.
Yeah.
way too into
What was
the
it, like
relationship.
tie-dye?
Yeah.
It was like
It was floral.
just demure and like
It was a bit matronly.
To come out of the shower. Yeah,
anyway.
Uh,
that didn't track.
So Charlie tells the granddaughter when they're having a little romantic time up on the roof of the radio station, he's like, I think you're scared you don't have enough bandages to keep me together.
Gross.
That's a line in this movie.
Mm.
So Jamie Lee is smelling that something's afoot. And I got to call up a little crouton here.
Salad crouton.
So Charlie Kirk is sleeping in the house where he killed the kid,
where the kid died.
where the kid
Right on the blood stain.
expired.
Yep.
And we hear this knock, knock, knocking. Then we finally see what it is, and it's Jamie Lee sitting in a very interesting way on this chair. Is she like on one of the like she's leaned back all the way, legs wide open, and she is just kind of interrogating our boy. She's like, "You're not good for her," and he's like, "If I can't have her, no one will." It's frustrating because you want her to be facing off against Michael, not this proxy.
Not at all.
You know, like why? Who wants this?
Yeah.
Why is this cool?
It's interesting, I guess, this idea that like he has infected the town,
right,
and so it's like
and
just
that's
by
been
his,
a theme.
yeah, and then that his sort
getting
of
to that,
presence like kind of echoes and reverberates and sort of poison this town and the people in it, which is kind of cool, but not for the final Halloween.
No, and
Halloween ends.
Yeah.
I kind of realize what Jamie Lee's becoming. She's becoming Loomis in his old age.
Yes.
Aw.
She's
Oh, I hate it, but it's true.
It's
It's
true.
true because I was like, hey, there's no Loomis really.
She's just kind of lurking around.
Yep.
She has these little monologues about evil.
Yeah.
I'd say when she tricks him too. You know.
Yeah, and so
Tricks him
she's
out.
and it's like Loomis in Halloween 4, 5, and particularly 6.
Come on. When he's dying.
Loomis ends.
Yeah, and dedicated to
Yes.
Donald
Yeah,
Pleasance.
yeah.
But she needs to be facing off against Michael much more in this movie.
Yeah, it is not nearly enough. So Charlie Kirk goes back to the the sewer, and there is a little wrestling match.
Scuffle.
Tussle.
Strange.
I
yeah.
don't
Little
like
man dance.
I don't like seeing
A wide shot.
I
sort
don't
of
like seeing
scuffle.
Michael like that. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like
that was like
seeing
elder
him.
abuse.
It took away.
It's kind of beneath him. He would just kill you.
There's some
just
stuff you just
like-
don't want to see
It's
him
like when
doing.
you take the remote control from Grandpa.
Oh.
And so he takes the mask off, and he is, Michael is getting on in the years, and
He's now referred to as the Shape.
the
in
shape.
credits.
You don't.
That's kind.
You don't see him super clearly, but you see he looks kind of like elder David Lopan from Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh man,
And so Charlie
It's the
Kirk's
hair.
got the mask.
he's got like a bald head with long hair. But
And I will say this. we're having fun razzing this movie and dunking on it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Say what you will, but at least it has the decency, and I think in all three of these it does. At least they tuck his mask into his collar.
I was thinking the same thing.
Because when we were watching in our infamous 4-5-6 marathon, that shit was flared harder than bell bottoms in the
Unbelievable how
70s.
flared it is in part 5.
It's untucked and just free flowing, and
Five
it
is
looks
bad because the mask is the worst.
it looks
It was bad.
ridiculous.
The hair is
Yeah.
so bad on 5.
the Julian Lennon
Or the
mask.
mask is really bad too. Yeah, the mask is looking pretty good. I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
kinda
they
like
got to
it,
get
yeah.
that right. The
I kinda
fans will
like the
buy him on
charred,
that.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The mask was strong in this. So Charlie Kirk's dad is watching Jean-Claude Van Damme in Hard Target, which might be the strongest artistic choice.
Yeah, I was
In
like,
this entire film.
bravo,
Well,
bravo.
they did the thing, and
That
then
tracks.
they did Hard Target. Yeah.
And then, do we even give a shit about him slaughtering all these bullies?
No, just skip all
Nah.
that.
I also found that the
Fast
one
forward.
bully who showed any
Fast
sympathy
forward.
towards them got it the worst. You
Yeah,
know,
that
And it
was weird.
Yeah, I was
Terrible.
like,
Yeah.
how does she get it the worst?
So, okay, fast forwarding. He kills all of them. And then they move on to the radio station. And I got to throw this a
Oh.
dragon. I got to.
1, 2, 3, 3.
Flying out of nowhere.
I knew this was delighting you. I knew it was delighting you.
to your heart.
Well, first of all, the receptionist is Darcy the mail girl from Joe
Yeah,
Bob
I
Briggs.
spotted her, too.
Yeah.
Ah.
All the drive-in stuff.
Okay.
And she gets dispatched, I think, off screen. We kind of met this DJ earlier, and pretty much anybody who doesn't like Charlie Kirk is going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they set
So-
him up as a jerk as well.
So how
he's dispatched.
how do we explain what happens to this guy?
I had to kind of look away for a bit.
Do you not like mouth trauma? You don't like eye trauma?
I don't know. It was just he was just getting smashed into the turntables. I don't like DJ trauma. Keep away.
Yes.
He pretty much grabs
keep
the back
away
of his
from the
head
DJs
and
just
slams him into the deck till he's
slams
pizza.
him into the turntables
But
until
then-
his face is
then-
His
mutilated.
tongue is hanging out.
Yeah.
And he cut, this is where it gets into dragon territory. He cuts his tongue off,
With scissors.
and the tongue falls onto the record, and the needle keeps skipping over the tongue and flipping the tongue around.
Mhm.
That, I mean, we don't see any of that. These movies should be chock-a-block full of that shit.
Yeah. That's creative.
And we finally see one
I don't
little
wanna, I don't wanna
fucking.
praise that, man.
Nate, we have to.
no.
We have to.
That's all we get.
It's all
I
we're
feel
dealing
that
with.
kill
It was
is
it was a good image, and I did not look away.
Well, there you go.
That kill,
Definitely had
it
to
speaks like
soak it up.
Michael. Like
It's-
Michael's cutting his tongue off. Does he know what's?
But
what
it's
he's
not
doing? Does
Michael.
Michael know what he's doing?
It's not
That's right.
Michael.
It's the other guy. So
It's
of course
the
he's
other
cutting
guy.
off his
Corey
butterfly.
Hawkins.
Corey Hawkins.
So anyway, that happens, and then it's time for the final showdown.
The Last Stand.
The last stand.
last
Halloween
kitchen
ends.
Final.
We watch Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode call in a suicide, and
Well, she finishes up her book,
she
maybe.
finishes up her manuscript. It looks like
Has a whiskey.
looks like a
Lights the
thin
jack-o'-lanterns.
looks like a thin volume, and she lights a jack o' lantern, and
slim volume. A pamphlet.
and we cut to Charlie Kirk's POV moving up the stairs and into the room. We hear a gunshot. There's a splat against the wall. But it ain't her brains. It's the inside of a pumpkin, y'all. And Jamie Lee's like, you really thought I was going to kill myself?
Yeah.
And then she shoots him a couple times.
She should have said trick or treat or something like.
It was supposed to be an
Michael.
applause moment, but I think the audience was maybe
Not with it.
like too confused or
How do you botch that, right?
like I don't
He
know
did.
what happened, but it was dead silent. And he falls off down the stairs, and what even happens?
How did she get rid of him? I can't remember.
He said she's like, you need to stay away from my daughter, and then he's like, if I can't have her, no one can, and he stabs his own neck.
Oh yeah, he kills
The
himself.
granddaughter comes in. It looks like it's like a dark sitcom moment
Yeah.
because Jamie Lee's standing there with the bloody knife, and she's like, no, No, it's not. It's not what it looks like.
Well, it mirrors the first kill too. You know, like the accidental.
Yeah, it's true.
Doesn't
And then,
make a
so
killer.
the granddaughter, stupid as ever, runs off, drives off in her car just to get out of there for this final battle. Like that's the only reason she goes to clear her head.
Couldn't be there.
And that's when Laurie senses that Michael has come home the night he came home. But there's like no music. It's just
Yeah, they never do the score.
It's just straight up battle in the kitchen island.
Kitchen Island Central.
I don't even
So
think they're
much.
aware of it. I think they literally they're like oblivious to it.
Yeah,
I
no, it's
feel like
subconscious.
it's just totally subconscious. Yeah.
They're like all roads lead to the kitchen island for these writers.
Mike Myers getting crucified on a kitchen island.
She crucifies him with
Does he
steak knives.
She tries to attack him with a knitting needle, a callback again. Does he put it into her ear?
Yes.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yes.
She is deaf or brain damaged after that.
What? Like
For real.
she didn't seem to really get too hurt by that, but okay. And so yeah, she stabs the shit out of him. He is pinned, crucified, like you said,
By the fridge, by the knife.
onto
pulls the fridge
the
down on his
kitchen
crack.
island. The
Yes,
kitchen
the kitchen
island
island.
is a main character in this film.
It's the centerpiece.
We were making jokes about it, but it turned out the joke was on us.
Yeah.
Turns out the
believe it was
joke was
playing
on
out,
Michael Myers, and he is unmasked again, looking like a cross between Lopan and John Carpenter himself. And
that's cruel.
And she slices his neck.
She guts him kind of.
She kind of
in
guts
the
him,
side. She's
like
a-
up, stabs him into
like
the armpit.
Kill, yeah, the kill zone.
That's where his heart is. Yeah, it was the armpit.
Yeah.
I think that is like that is fan service. Like cut the jugular. you know
Yeah,
what I mean,
and then she does
Cut the
like a gentle slice on the wrist just to open up his veins.
It's really an unpleasant image.
It's
After he tries to choke him.
You know, that was a real
It was
unpleasant. I was like,
gross.
if this is near the end and we're walking out with that, like,
But it's not the end.
It's not
It's
the end,
not the
folks.
end. We got another dragon.
We got
One more for the road.
one more dragon to deal with in this franchise.
4 dragons.
It's like Return of the King, where there's a
Yes.
bunch of endings. You know.
Yes.
oh, there was, yeah.
They kill him, evidently. Will Patton comes ambling up, and they
a little
all
too overdressed for that time of night.
yes, they all seem to get the same idea at the same time, which is crazy.
Morbid AF.
Which is
It's
super
so
crazy.
Yeah,
morbid.
everyone looks the
They're
other
like
way.
they're like it's over, not yet. And then the cop from one of these comes out and it's like,
He did show up.
we're doing this tonight. Doing what?
And the audience, like, that was the one time the audience cheered.
Oh, the audience- yeah,
'cause
they're
it
like,
was so batshit crazy. We're like, woo, we're gonna
Yeah.
parade this corpse around.
I think the audience was happy it was almost over.
And then as there was the
crowd
procession of
surfs his
cars,
body.
I leaned over to Brother Nathan and I was like, because they're hill people.
Yes. Suddenly-
they're
They-
Haddonfield people.
You know, they strap Michael Myers to the station wagon
Yes,
roof,
to the roof.
just to be clear.
And yeah, we haven't even talked about that.
And
So leaning all over everything.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's Jamie Lee Curtis's roof
With his
And
sewer
she's
blood.
driving it. She's
With the
driving
granddaughter.
with her granddaughter.
just
And
goblin head that he has.
like you said, like somehow the radio station's burned down, but somehow all
whole
of these,
town knows.
all of the hill people understand to convene.
It's like Field of Dreams, just like
If you strap Michael Myers to the roof, the hill people will come, and they all convene at the scrap yard.
He's not well lit, so I don't know how they knew to follow, but
And there'd be so much blood. He would just be bleeding.
just be a bloody.
Again, his
Needle.
veins have been gently opened.
he's drained by now.
He's drained. So
they drained
they
him,
lift
yeah.
him up
And they-
in very Christ-like.
and they crowd surf him.
Crowd surf.
Crowd surf him.
gentle crowd surf.
1,000%.
They crowd surf him towards the industrial strength car grinder.
Which
meat grinder.
we've seen many a time
Like a wood
already.
chipper.
It was set up earlier.
Made
too.
of
They were
steel.
chopping up cars.
And Laurie Strode gets up into it.
I
I
thought
thought
she
that
might
was
jump
dangerous. I thought that was too dangerous. He was going to try and grab her one last
too.
time.
At this point,
Definitely.
Yeah.
I thought the whole situation was so bizarre that at this point I thought she intended to go down with
Me
him,
too.
and everybody was like, "Yep,
Yeah, this is like
The two become one.
the Alien 3 ending where you're
It's-
just going in.
it is over." And I was starting to talk myself into it. I'm like, "Yeah, she's done everything that she could possibly
All she can
do.
do.
Yeah, I
yes.
thought she finished the book. I guess she didn't.
It's
but-
time to end it all."
Yeah.
I think she would have
ends.
she would have had to been more mortally wounded or something. You know,
You
Yeah.
have to
Yes.
pull her in,
And then
or
you
it's
have
like
that
they
ending.
both
Yeah.
have to go in together.
an arm
yeah.
is gone, you know, her hand is gone. And she's
So
like, I'm done, you
the
know.
granddaughter hits the switch, and when she hit the switch, I was like,
Did
they're-
they do a signal?
They're both going down.
yeah.
No,
yeah.
the granddaughter doesn't seem to be in the same zip code.
The way it's shot is like a boom arm looking down, so it's like a
Yes.
woozy shot.
Yes,
So it feels like she's gonna fall in.
Yeah.
but
Bad direction.
I was on the edge of my seat because I was like, what
I
is
was
gonna
like,
happen
what
here?
is going to happen?
but no, she's standing on a platform,
Right.
and she kicks Michael down into the grinding gears.
No problems
He
whatsoever.
doesn't do a final.
He doesn't do shit other
Well,
than
as Halloween ends,
he
you know what I mean?
gets
Like,
ground the fuck
he just
up.
collapses in on himself. It is gross.
Ground
Oh.
beef.
oh yeah, you want to know what it looks like with a body going through something like that? There you
Uh,
go.
I think a cooler Halloween Ends movie would have like a Steve Vai like guitar like just fucking rock at that point.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Which it's
But
flirting
it's like playing it like it's
Somber.
It's like Out of
Somber.
Africa or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
Like if you want people to be like fuck yeah Halloween Ends, then let us fucking have a fucking face melting guitar
Yeah.
assault at that point.
Of the
you know,
theme song. Yeah.
of the theme song. Like
Hey, Carpenter would do it. You know,
He
he's
would
playing this
totally
kind of stuff with
do it.
Anthrax.
Coupe de Villes.
the Coupe de Bills
No,
back
not
together.
that material.
And then we have some more VO.
Yeah,
where
it keeps
she's
going.
she's
which was
wrapping it up.
Surprising.
We see,
I
you
was
know,
waiting for like another Michael Myers moment.
Me
Right.
too.
Yeah.
and the granddaughter just dreamed of leaving Haddonfield, and we see her drive down the road, and there's a sign that says "Leaving Haddonfield City Limits." You don't see those signs in a small town.
No.
Like you don't
No,
see
no.
"Leaving Pasadena" now.
No, they'll have signs that'll say like "You come back now" or like
If you're
whatever.
leaving the state.
Yeah. Leaving Haddonfield City Limits. Okay, gotcha.
Most of the art direction is just signs.
And then,
Let's be honest.
and then the last shots are shots of Laurie Strode's house, and then her like writing
Office,
her
where she
o-
has her book and her whiskey.
Well, her and Will Patton chill for a bit.
her office
yeah.
and
That's
Michael
right.
Myers' mask is on the table.
Yeah.
Very briefly shot.
All these endings.
Cherry blossoms are suicide. Boom, down, 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 down.
And then we get "Don't Fear the Reaper." Nice callback. But
Mm.
what a ride, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Bold choices.
Bold choices.
Weird choices.
Millie stayed
Weird
awake.
choice. I sure did.
Hell yeah.
We were laughing. We were laughing.
Miss
we were
Allen
like-
never died.
I'm very curious to see about these Halloween bones. Who to even start with? Brother Nathan, take us through it.
Well. Here we are, huh? At the end of the
End of the
End of the
road.
whole
End of
shebang.
the road.
They always just. I think this, just like all the other ones, they convolute it up, man. Adding this bozo Corey kid.
He's a bozo.
His
isn't
lips
he?
are bozo. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Adding him just convolutes the whole verses that we need, and that's what we all came for, is to
Yeah.
have Laurie
Like have
say-
him in the next one if you have to. If you
Yeah,
have
if
to.
you have to.
Mhm.
So that junked it up for me right away. I mean, I was with it for a while. I felt like they did set up more, and it had more of a payoff. I guess you need to do that with characters if you're going to send them into a slasher machine.
Yeah.
So they were trying. I feel like they were listening to the audience somewhat. So I think some
Not
fans are going
this
to take
audience.
this in. Not this car.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't even care anymore about this franchise. About it's another horror movie, it's another slasher movie, and it doesn't have any bedrock from the original series for me. So I
Yeah.
was just going with it, and I'm not going to judge these too hard anymore. But for me, it's a bone and a half.
Mm.
You know, I think I was a Roger Ebert Memorial Half Bone the last time, which is
Oh, that's a
the biggest
huge jump.
So it's a jump.
Huge jump.
'Cause I think the script's a little bit better than those other two, which are just dog shit still. That's my opinion on those. So let's see how it goes.
Bone and a half. All right. Lodge Mistress Millie, what are you going to do?
Well, I don't need to belabor this. We've discussed it. And I thought it was interesting. It really did hold my attention.
Yeah.
It was not the Halloween Ends I wanted.
But it was
really
the one you
wanted more.
deserve.
Yeah, I mean, the
Thank you.
setup is great. I mean, it is.
Yeah, I mean, and that opening scene was really, really good. I totally gasped, and there were some good things about it, but it wasn't a good Halloween Ends. But I did enjoy the fact that in a way, I enjoyed that it wasn't, because it wasn't like those first two where it was just like slaughter and no plot.
Why wasn't this
plot.
Halloween Kills? Because the whole theme of Halloween Kills was the town going nuts.
Yep.
Like, why not tuck this into that and then anyway?
There's some interesting stuff that he's trying to get at with the town being, again, poisoned by sort of Michael. And I think that that's interesting. But I also think that it wasn't explored enough, and the characters were so stuck. All those side characters, the doctor and the nurse and the mommy dearest mom, and that was just gross. So anyway, it held my attention. 2 bones.
2 bones. All right, they're climbing. Brother Bishke, what are you gonna do? 3 bones? Can I get a 3? Can I get a 3.5?
I will say this is the best of the trilogy.
The Love and Light came into the car.
I like it. Love and Jack-o'-lantern
I think
light.
David Gordon Green is slowly, slightly improving in his horror direction.
Wow.
But this is still not what people want. This is definitely not giving people what people want. This is not Halloween, for the most part.
Right. It's
I don't know
like
what.
Millie said, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Like string theory is interesting, but don't make a Halloween movie about it.
Yeah. Lots of weird choices. I was never bored. Lots of dragons. So you got to give it some points.
You got to.
But I'm with Brother Nathan. 1.5 bones.
Yeah.
Best in the trilogy.
Yeah.
Solid 1.5 bones.
Because I think it is.
Oh man. All right. Brother Lucas, I have no idea. We were sitting so far away from you. I got no temperature
Don't
read.
let us taint you, man. Whatever you
What are you
feel.
gonna do?
It's funny. I was expecting a movie more tonally similar to the last movie, but this is not that. Like, it is a totally different kettle of fish.
Yes.
Did not feel like a Halloween movie at all,
No,
really.
that's
even
really
though
the sin here, yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis was all over it, and I really loved her and Will Patton together. I was glad they were like leaning hard into a lot of those scenes in the first half.
Me too, man.
They were leaning all right.
But unfortunately, it's not scary, for a Halloween movie or October movie. This to me played out more like an indie emo drama, the bicycle, motorcycle, like the Letterman bullies, like it all just felt like like a drama, it works, but as a Halloween horror movie, this does not work. And I definitely was laughing and enjoying like the salad dragons galore. And I think there is something there, like what Millie said about, the town being poisoned, like that. There's a great idea there. Because I know they got to pass the torch or baton onto something or someone if they want to keep mining the IP forever.
Yeah.
And I guess it's like you kind of imitate Scream, where there's like copycats or people are trying to like one up Michael Myers or something.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I don't know where they go.
Because maybe it's just done.
Yeah.
It's just, it really is over.
Because then it's always a patsy under there,
Yeah, but
guy
like
we don't want to follow.
The final fight scene like felt too dark. Even like I couldn't really see what was happening.
Yeah, it was dark.
So I wasn't really worried too much. And the guy they cast for Corey Hawkins or Charlie Kirk, whatever his name was, like it was just like I don't want to hang out with that person. I don't want to watch that person for like
the
90
only
minutes.
person that wants to hang out with him and hang all over him
make out
is
with
the granddaughter.
So like as the indie emo drama, I would give it 3 bones, but as a Halloween movie, I have to give it 1 bone.
1 bone.
Grocery store aisle exchange.
That's a dip.
Yes.
That's a dip from 3 to 1. He's giving us the bends here. Listen, there's a scene where Charlie Kirk's dad gifts him this busted up motorcycle. And he's like, "Does it still work?" And the dad says, "Yeah, it still works. It's just kind of shitty." And that's these 3 movies.
Yeah.
They work. You can watch them. They unspool from beginning to end, but they're just kind of shitty. And that's what we're dealing with. So in that bubble of shit, this is the caviar. My mouth was open and in kind of a weird, confused smile through the whole movie because the choices were so weird and so both predictable and completely batshit unpredictable somehow at the same time that I was just, I was trying to figure it out. I was trying to figure out how this thing exists and how it's being promoted as the final chapter of, as the Schnapps claims, like the most revered franchise in horror history.
Oh my God.
And so I got to give a bone and a half just for the consistent entertainment value of it. I agree it's not a Halloween movie. It doesn't feel right. It feels very wrong, but it tastes so good in some spots. And I got to give it a Brother Ben bump just because they tucked in the fucking mask.
It's a Brother Ben bump, y'all.
Oh, come on.
They tucked it in.
That right.
The mask is looking good. And kudos to you. Hats off to you. Masks off to you. That's Halloween Ends.
I just think I thought of a last minute live rewrite.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we need it. We need it.
Where you could maybe keep it open ended for more sequels.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Do it.
So remember when Charlie Kirk got jumped by the bullies the second time and they threw him off the bridge?
Yes.
And he like hits his head and he's kind of like knocked
I'll never
out.
forget that.
Okay. Well, instead of him getting dragged into the sewer tunnel like we saw
by Donatello and Leonardo.
Right. What if when he wakes up the next day, he like sees the like homeless guy's tent and like goes over and he finds out the guy's been murdered, but he doesn't know like if he did it or who did it.
Right.
But long story short, people start getting killed
and he doesn't know.
And everyone thinks it's like him, the psycho babysitter, but it turns out it's like Michael Myers, like kind of using him as like a pawn.
It's better.
And then, but then at the end, there's like a twist where it's like, no, he was in cahoots with him, but we didn't like know or something. Then,
because
like,
we wanted to believe the best in him.
and then like Jamie Lee Curtis kills both of them, but then at the end there's like a shot of like a third person that like maybe was like helping them as well, but we don't know about or something.
Yeah, give it a little whodunit. Like
Yeah.
it's so I don't know.
I don't know.
Lucas, you always bring it. You always bring the heat. I love that. That's Halloween Ends, y'all. My God. I'm still excited to see
Beautiful
Halloween Resurrection,
friends.
even after all that. That's going to be my Halloween Ends.
Yeah, that's going to be your crouton.
Brother Nathan, Lodgemus Jasmili, thank you for joining us on this journey.
What a
It's been an
pleasure.
epic
We're here for
5-year journey together, folks.
Oh, beautiful.
And it comes to an end tonight, but we'll be on it when they reboot it, remake it.
And I wouldn't doubt a Jamie Lee comeback tour in 2027.
I think so.
That's what I think is going to
Whoa.
happen.
Yeah, we'll be there for it.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Evil ended tonight.
Evil ended
Tonight.
Love and light, y'all.
Love and light.
Love and light.
It's over.
Places I go make me feel tongue-tied. And I can see how people look down there on the inside. Here's where the story ends. Oh, here's where the story ends. It's that little souvenir of a terrible year which makes my eyes feel sore. And whoever would have thought the looks that you brought were all I love you for. Oh, the devil in me said, go down to the shed. I know where I belong. But the only thing I ever really wanted to say was wrong, was wrong, was wrong. It's that little souvenir of a California which makes me smile inside.
The code name was Cave Dweller.